Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Christian Faith and Fiction. My name's Lou and today I'm going to be sharing with you a vlog that I originally started in February and intended to do it as my February vlog, but then it kind of extended into beginning of March, and then I intended to put it up then, but then the world just went crazy and coronavirus happened and we are now in isolation. And lots of stuff had to happen in order for that to work out. So this is kind of late, but I haven't really read much in March, but I'll let you know a bit more about that at the end. So let's see right back in the beginning of February how I got on. Hi, so it's February the 6th and I have finished the Dating Charade. That was the one that I had planned to get done. I was reading it in January and wanted to get it finished. I enjoyed it. It had more substance to it than I was expecting. It's kind of marketed as a rom-com, but there was more grit to it than it might have sounded. If you don't know, it follows two characters, Cassie and Jet, who meet over a dating app, and they've been single for a while. They finally meet somebody that they're interested in, but then both of them independently end up with 3 kids being dropped in their lap, and they are really not sure how the other one will take it, so they hide them from each other. And it is quite funny, it's amusing. There is more, as I said, more substance to it because of the reasons why those kids end up there. It's a good light romantic comedy, but with more going on under the surface. This cover seemed really appropriate for February's kind of Valentine's-y covers. The matches are because Jet is a fireman. So yeah, I recommend this one. It was good. And then in the post today, Cry of the Raven arrived. So this is one of my highly anticipated sequels for the year, from the Ravenwood saga. I'll probably pick it up later in the month. I need to refresh my memory from the first 2 books, so I'm going to skim read through those 2, but then I want to get to this one. But at the moment I'm going to pick up next, I think, The Piper's Pursuit by Melanie Dickerson, because I got this one first and I like to try and keep up with the new releases that have coming out. So this one is a medieval retelling of the Pied Piper. So we'll see how that one turns out and how she manages to get the story in there. I'm kind of familiar with the Pied Piper. I vaguely remember going to see a play about it when I was in primary school, I think. Something to do with plague of rats. Plague of rats and a piper that could charm the rats out of the town, and then the children went missing. Something like that. So I'll wait and see what this one is about. I think it's the second to last book in her series. The last one comes out later in the year. Hey, so it's 9th of February today, and I was due to be going out to church, but it has been cancelled. We have Storm Kira going through the country at the moment. So this weekend I've had a load of pre-orders come through all at once. You wait for one and then 4 come at once. But what I do when I'm with my books is I get some money. I've got some money for Christmas, and then I put that money into a column and I pre-order books that come out through the year. So the new releases I'm getting are from money that I've got from Christmas presents, from some money that I've saved up as well. So then I have books coming throughout the year, and I try and space them out so that I'm getting some, and it's a bit like having Christmas presents turn up. So this weekend I've got come in the post this one, The Solid Grounds Coffee Company by Carla Laureano. This is the 3rd book in the Supper Club series, following Anna, one of the friends. So that's a contemporary romance. And then this one came, and this was another one that wasn't meant to come yet, but it came actually close to its release date. Daughter of Rome by Tessa Afshar, which is a biblical fiction one following Priscilla and Aquila and Paul. So looking forward to that one. And then the third one that came is The Tea Chest by Heidi, I don't know how to pronounce that, Chiavaroli. This is a dual time period novel set in the Boston Tea Party and present day Boston. So yeah, that one's another one. So now I've got like a whole choice of books to read all of a sudden, and the other one that came earlier this week by Morgan L. Busse. So I'm still reading Piper's Pursuit. About a third of the way into that one. This is following Kat and Stefan, who are two kind of, well, sometimes I like them and sometimes they're quite unlikable characters. They're both quite hard, spiky characters, shall we say, to start with, and I'm thinking they're probably going to soften up a bit as we go along. But in the town of Hamlin, there have been a plague of rats, which nobody knows where they're coming from. There's also a beast that's been attacking people, which the town Burgermeister, I think they call him, the town mayor, has said that he will give his daughter in marriage and some money to whoever who can kill the beast. And she's not very happy about that. The cat, who is his stepdaughter. So that's happening, and also the children in the town keep disappearing. So there's it's going to be like a mystery of what's happened, as well as that kind of action adventure, and I presume a romance between the two characters. So I'm enjoying it so far. It's fairly fast paced. It's quite short, really, I think about 300 pages. So hopefully I'll get through that one this week. Alright, see you soon. Hello, happy Valentine's Day. It's February the 14th and I have finished The Piper's Pursuit by Melanie Dickerson. I think I give this one a 4.25 out of 5 stars, probably 4 on Goodreads, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It's a kind of an original plot. It doesn't completely strictly follow the plot of the Pied Piper, but you get all the kind of allusions to it there. Hamlin and the rats and the beast and the children going missing and things like that. I enjoyed the romance. It's quite a linear tale. It follows the two main characters, Kat and Stefan, quite closely. So you don't really get any kind of bigger world building or subplots or things going on. But it was a good story and I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed seeing the change in Stefan's character, because he's one of the ones who was in the earlier book, The Warrior Maiden, and he is not such a nice guy in that one. So it's nice to see him change and try and find forgiveness and forgive himself for his past and things like that. So that was good. Now I am currently trying to skim read through Mark of the Raven and The Flight of the Raven, because I want to get on to read The Cry of the Raven. So I'm kind of slightly nervous. I don't know if anybody else gets like that, but I want to read it, but I don't want to read it because it means it's going to come to an end. And ever since I read the Divergent trilogy, which if you've read it, you'll know why I'm slightly nervous about reading the ending of things. But hopefully this is going to end in the way that I'd like it to end and be a really good one. I've given 5 out of 5 to the other 2 books so far, so that also puts a bit of pressure on this last one, but hopefully it's going to be a good story. Hey, so it's the 24th of February. I was ill with a really bad cold last week, but I did, before I had it, go for a walk on the beach. It was actually some nice weather. I finished skim reading through the first 2 books in the Ravenwood saga, and it took me longer than I imagined because the second book I'd forgotten a lot more than I realised, and so I had to read quite big chunks of that to remind myself of what was happening. But I'm about a quarter of the way through the last book, Cry of the Raven, and lots of stuff is going on. It's really wrapping up the whole of the series and bringing it to a climax and a crisis. So hopefully I will finish reading that before I do the wrap up for this month. Hi, so it's the 5th of March and I have finally finished reading The Cry of the Raven. It was epic in the sense of it was much more like an epic fantasy in this one than compared to the other ones. This one followed quite a number of different people's perspectives. There was all sorts of stuff going all over the place. It's the climax to the whole of the trilogy, and yeah, it was really, really good. I'm going to give this one 5 out of 5 again, and you get to see a lot more of all the world, of all the different gifts going on, of the battles, of of the real world, of the dream world. Everything's going on all at the same time and jumping back and forth. And it was really, really great. An emotional roller coaster, really. Felt like I'd been in the battle with the characters, which is a good sign of a good book. So I definitely recommend that one to fantasy readers. It's been a really good series. I will probably at some point do a series review, but I'll see you in my wrap up. Hi, so now it is nearly the end of March, and you can see I read 3 books in total in February and skim read 2, and then in March I have read or finished none. So not such a good month this month. But in February I finished the Dating Charade by Melissa Ferguson, The Piper's Pursuit by Melanie Dickerson, and I skim read through Mark of the Raven and Flight of the Raven, and I finished The Cry of the Raven by Morgan L. Busse in the beginning of March. So I have not finished any of the books, but I have started The Solid Grounds Coffee Company by Carla Laureano, which is a contemporary romance, 3rd in the parallel stories from her Saturday Night Supper Club series. And I have started the first book in the Wing Feather saga, which is called On the Edge of the Dark Sea of Darkness by Andrew Peterson, which is a kids or middle grade fantasy novel. This is a new illustrated version, but it's been released before. So I'm going to continue with those 2 and see how we go, see how I can get my stress levels under control, see how the coronavirus progresses and what it's like being stuck indoors. You would think being stuck inside would mean I read more, but because of all the changes and everything that's been going on in my head's not really been in a peaceful place to sit down and read and concentrate on new stories. I have been listening to some old stories on audiobook that I already know, because when the world seems so unpredictable, I quite like to go back to predictable stories that I know how they're going to end. So that's where I am with reading. Let me know in the comments how you've been getting on. Let me know if there's anything I can pray for, and if you are stuck inside like me, what your tips are for staying calm and enjoying self-quarantine. And until next time, hopefully soon, I'll see you again. Bye!